Now, if you want to call up and argue the virtues of Kenny Holland, you're welcome to. I just don't think there are many of you out there, or at least not in meaningful number. So the point was, okay, if we know Kenny Holland's got the lowest approval rating, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Well, we believe that.
Right, but let's go under the presumption that it's fact.
Okay.
For fun. Let's say we know Holland's the worst. Who's number two? I mean, of all the options, who has the second lowest approval rating in the state, sports-wise? I mean, you can pull from any sport. Now, please, don't call up with softball or something. Don't call up with men's gymnastics. I don't care.
Is there a men's gymnastics team? I didn't hear about that.
Well, I would assume. I mean, it's, non-revenue sports in college.
Oh, we're talking about college.
Right.
Yeah,
248-539-9797. I mean, I could term it an easier way. The lowest approval rating in the city, not named Kenny Holland. 248-539-9797. Now, I'll wait to give my suggestion. I'd like to go around the room first. Kind of because Terry says I poison the jury. I come out. I'm all strong about it. I give a big opinion, and then I've poisoned the jury. So I'll go last. Terry, you can go first.
All right. My guy is Brad Ausmus, and he hasn't even started yet. I know the Tigers are going to be a good team this year. Maybe they'll stay healthy, and they'll surprise us. But I also know this, that he's going to make some moves that's going to leave you shaking your head like, what the hell was that? He's a guy that I don't quite trust as manager of the Tigers yet. So I would say Brad Ausmus is my guy.
Brad Ausmus with a vote. Okay. Sully. Excuse me. Noted morning show guest, Brad Ausmus.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's going to be joining them, I believe, all season.
Yeah.
I look forward to hearing it.
Yeah.
Guys, a lot of candidates out here. I am going to choose Mr. Jim Caldwell.
You're kind of looking for more of that pass back and forth kind of thing.
I know, he has a decent record as head coach and he's made the playoffs and whatnot, but I just don't trust him at all from a game management standpoint. I don't think he's a good coach.
But do you believe the average person, as they sit here on this gloomy day today, would rank Jim Caldwell number two behind Holland?
I think there's a lot of people.
I think there are people that would, yes.
I think there's enough supporters. Look, I think Caldwell will have a difficult time out-dueling Brad Ausmus. I'm not telling you Caldwell's perfect. Clearly, I'm one of his biggest critics.
Caldwell's worse at game management than Brad Ausmus is.
One year contract. Obviously, they didn't trust him.
Don't you dare say he's better than Ausmus.
I would say that, yeah.
Wait. You said worse than Ausmus.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No one's worse. No one.
No, some of the stuff that Caldwell's done, obviously with the pass back and forth type of thing, not counting to 11, that's just basic stuff. It's just inexcusable.
Ausmus does the same stuff, Mike, but more. There's 162 opportunities.
I'm not saying Ausmus is great.
One guy's got 162 chances to screw up. The other guy's got 16. Who's doing more damage?
Okay, that's not fair.
I'm just saying.
Because one guy has more games than the other. Come on now.
But I'm saying it's dozens and dozens and dozens.
How
of
about we do this? Mistakes per hour.
Ausmus.
So we can do that.
Baseball games take longer. Plus, he's got to manage into the extra innings, and he's always worried about he needs a guy for the 19th inning. Hatchet man. Who's the selection for Greater Life Church?
What are the parameters here? Coach, GM, can it be a player?
It could be anything.
It could be anything.
I'm saying that in this city, it's pretty clear Kenny Holland has an approval rating of like 2. So we know he's number 1. Who would have the second lowest approval rating right now?
I have to go Reggie Jackson.
Oh, now look what you done did. Look what you did.
I have to go Reggie Jackson.
Old Tito over here is going to get all angry at you now.
Well,
really?
well, fans want they wanted the team to make the playoffs in back-to-back years, and now he's getting benched in the moment where they're trying to get a playoff spot. And fans, they're upset with Reggie Jackson. He's not playing well, so I'll go Reggie Jackson.
That's bold. I think that's a little much.
Why?
I think he did that to get back at me for calling him Frosty.
What about Blashill? I mean, in many ways, isn't he tied exactly to Holland? I mean, we can all agree that Holland hasn't done a great job, but Blashill was supposed to be able to get the most out of the young players, the Grand Rapids connection, be different than Babcock. Oh, he's been different, all right. Would Jeff Blashill accrue some votes? And I think if you're going to go Pistons, my selection, mine, I have a hard time not putting personal feeling into it. I know that most people don't care about the Pistons. That's why I don't think a Pistons selection will win this. But if you were going to do it, I would say Stan Van Gundy. He has failed on a managerial side, putting the roster together, and he has failed on the coaching side, where by and large this team has quit. You can do whatever you want with the Heat game, but I mean, they
mean
basically
the best game they played in the last 50 years?
Yeah, Grant Long. Yeah, there you go. No, I really think that by and large they have quit on him as a coach, and maybe they just want to play for themselves. And he's done a terrible job in both roles that he has. Would Stan Van Gundy play, or do not enough people even notice what the Pistons are doing to give him a low approval rating?
Yeah, I think they pay attention to Stan Van Gundy because he is such a dynamic figure. But the thing that Stan does is he rips himself before you get a chance to rip him. And I think when you do that, it takes some of the shine off of it.
248-539-9797. And if you want to argue that Kenny Holland isn't, the lowest approval rating in the city, go ahead. I don't think that those people
he's
exist.
the only one with a .com. They have firekenholland.com.
Fantastic.
He's the only guy with a website like that. Somebody took the time to come up with a website, firekenholland.com. They don't have firebradosmus.com or firejimcaldwell.com or anything like that. Give him time. I know. Give him
the
time.
Osmus one till June. Wait and see.
A lot of different answers coming in, by the way, guys. And people are
I know. I could tell.
Well, I don't know why the phones aren't. But on the text, there's a lot. But people are adamant, too, meaning there's so many hands down this guy, hands down this guy. And there's a lot of different answers coming in.
Well,
are try to settle this.
Are you going to share them, Mr. Marbles, or are you?
Well, I didn't want to give all of them away if people actually want to call in.
Oh, well, who are we kidding? I mean, come on.
No, but
we got more people picking his daughter's college than we do talking about public enemy number one in the city right now.
That's right.
Sports-wise.
Hands down, Stan Van Gundy. Al Avila, without a doubt, showed his hand way too early in the offseason.
Time out on Al Avila. Now, that's interesting because look at now for recency. In the last 2 days, they've had to eat about $15 million in salary, $14 million in salary. Getting rid of Mark Lowe, who made almost $6 million, and Pelfrey was making what, $8.5 million? $8.
I think 8.
Had to get rid of him. What an awful job by Avila. Those were two big signings. Then here's the other one. They let Cameron Maben walk for nothing. I mean, $8-9 million for a center fielder in today's game is nothing. Now, maybe Jacoby Jones ends up being the real deal. That's fine. But think about that kind of collective offseason where last year's mistakes, you couldn't even get rid of them. You had to eat the contracts. And then you allowed your center fielder, who had a little bit of a career rebirth here, and you allowed him to walk away. Avila would be an interesting one.
Yeah, that's a bad job right there. What have we talked about all spring training? Not us, but the Tigers. Center field. Need a center fielder. Not sure if they're going to get the right one. You let them walk.
248-539-9797. If Kenny Holland's got the worst approval rating, who's next in line?